Myself, Richa Sharma from Rajasthan University. I'm currently pursuing MSc Geology. Thank you, sir.
Okay. From which state you are, Richa Sharma?
University of Rajasthan, sir.
University of Rajasthan. Of course. One other participant.
Good
Doc-
evening, sir.
Good evening.
Myself, Dr. Aishwarya Purushottam Pettare. I am working as assistant professor in Department of Microbiology at Srimati Kasturbai Walchand College of Arts and Science, Sangli.
Okay. Great, madam. Dr. Abha Baral, Anuja Okay, Bhumi Patel, Dr. Rupa Niroli. Just unmute yourself and introduce because the objective of this platform is this roundtable discussion so that we can connect with each other and we can share our experience and also we can take help of others in our research.
Good evening, sir. I am Abha Baral
Hmm.
from V. Narmat South Gujarat University, and I am currently studying in semester 1 of biotechnology. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Abha.
Good evening, sir. Am I
Good
audible?
evening. Yes, yes, you are audible.
I am Anuja Madhekar. I am an assistant professor at the Department of Microbiology from Ferguson College, Pune.
Thank you, Anuja.
Yeah, good evening, sir. This is
Good
Dr.
evening, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Completed. Yeah. Can I, sir?
Yes, madam, you are audible, madam.
Yeah. Yeah, like I have completed my PhD recently in the topic antimicrobial resistance, and I have experience in bacteriocins as well. And like I'm a food enthusiast, especially I do keep experimenting fermented food at my home, and like I'm a food enthusiast basically. So I have joined this discussion for the same. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, doctor.
Good evening, sir.
Tiwari ji, namaste.
Good evening, sir. Namaste, sir.
Good evening, good evening.
Dear participants,
Very happy to
very
see you in a...
fortunate that
आवाज इतना ही है?
yes, sir.
Yeah, please continue, please continue.
Yes,
I
sir.
need some time.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, sir. Myself, Shrika. I have recently joined the PhD program at Bharathidasan University, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. My topic is around exploring probiotics in traditional fermented food. So I am interested to attend this Google Meet.
Okay, thank you, Srika.
Thank you, sir.
I hope that you will contribute today in this roundtable discussion from your experience. Mayur, what the name is showing in this list? Sanjana Joseph,
Good
Shanvi
evening,
Khan.
sir.
Good evening.
I'm Sanjana
So,
Joseph.
am I audible?
Yes, you are
Hello.
audible. Yes, Mayur, audible.
So, I'm Mayur Mishram. I'm studying in sixth semester of fifth semester of biotechnology in Siagat College of Engineering at Pune.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Sanjana Joseph.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, madam.
I recently joined a PhD program in Christ University, Bangalore, and I'm exploring probiotics from fermented food.
Thank you, Sanjana.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, Shanmugapriya.
I'm family. Currently pursuing MSc Microbiology in Balimal College for Women, Chennai, sir. I'm excited to join this session because I'm pursuing food and dairy microbiology currently. So I'm interested to join this.
Okay, thank you. So dear participants, today we are very fortunate that today with us Dr. Prakash Halami sir is present, and he is the renowned scientist in this field, means fermented food. So let me just introduce this topic and then we will begin our discussion today. Welcome you sir in this in today's session. Hello, am I audible to you sir?
Yes, very much. Just 2 seconds.
Just so the part we know that India has the rich heritage of traditional fermented food, and each carrying the centuries of culture, regional identity, and also the scientific significance. So the can say that the art of the fermentation is harnessed by the invisible, powerful microbial communities, and this is the reason that we are discussing today in this roundtable discussion, because in fermentation, the microbial communities are involved to enhance the nutrition, to enhance the flavor, texture, and the shelf life of the food. So the fermentation is essentially it's a natural biochemical process in which you know that the microorganisms like the bacteria, yeast, that convert the raw food materials into the products with improved digestibility, with enriched nutrient content and distinct sensory qualities. So we can take the few examples. Idli and dosa from the South India that are prepared by the fermenting rice and the black gram, and the microbes that involved are mainly the lactobacillus, leuconostoc, and yeast. In the northeast, the gundruk, also in our Darjeeling region, the gundruk is very famous. So fermented leafy vegetable. So it's rich in the lactic acid bacteria that enhance the vitamin content and the digest and add the digestion, means increase the digestibility of the leafy vegetable. Now we can take the dokla from the Gujarat that relies mainly on the lactobacillus species, and the wild yeast, with the kanji, the fermented carrot and mustard drink from the Punjab, and it also carries the probiotic property, and the kombucha. Now in India, it is gaining popularity that symbiotic culture, we can say the acetic acid bacteria. And the east, in eastern India, the handia and the apong are the rice-based fermented beverages, where the different microbes such as the aspergillus, saccharomyces, candida, dairy-based fermented foods that we all of us consume. This one is the dahi and the curd. So there also we know that the lactobacillus are involved. So these are the several examples of the fermented food, means traditional fermented food in our country, means India. So scientific studies also revealed that these traditional products are the functional food that boosting gut health, enhancing the immunity, and even exhibiting the antimicrobial property, and making them a sustainable solution for future nutrition and the food security. So by combining the traditional wisdom with the modern microbiology, we can transform this fermented food heritage into the globally recognized functional food. So with this background in mind, I request everyone to let's begin our discussion by sharing the examples, by sharing the research insights and ideas on how to promote and scientifically validate our traditional fermented food for the benefit of both health and the heritage. So now this platform is open for the discussion. So now I request all the participants and the respected scientists are present. Just unmute yourself, and if possible, you can open your camera and please share your research experience and your findings in the traditional fermented food. So Dr. Jugal Mohanta sir has joined. Any participants, if you have any means, you can share your research experience here. Hello. Abhi Baral, Dr. Jugal Mohanta. Dear participants, this is the platform for the discussion to share our research experience, to share our knowledge. So anyone who has any research experience or the knowledge, or if you want to put any comment on this topic, you welcome you all. Just unmute yourself and you can share your knowledge or research experience. Am I audible to all of you? Hello.
Sir, sir, I have a question on this particular topic. Like, as since ages we are consuming idli, dhokla, dosa, and all as a fermented food. But as we know, we just cook it and eat it. Once it gets fermented, we cook it and eat it. So that will kill the live bacteria. Is it really beneficial as a fermented food? Like, what benefits we should get from the fermented food? Are they really beneficial for it? Like, we want to improve the gut bacteria basically, but there are no live bacteria in all that.
So, dear participant, Dr. Rupali Jolly Madam has put a question. So, if anyone
So,
has,
my point of view is that she's right that live bacteria are being killed, but the nutrient benefits which we get from them are still they still remain in that food. Like if we talk about the like vitamins which are present in them, they are not destroyed in that cooking procedure.
I also
But
believe that I agree with the
Like
doctor.
they do not act as probiotics because
Yes, yes.
by
But during the
heating their
fermentation, the nutritional value as well as the taste, means taste, enhancement of the taste and the nutritional value.
remains.
Yeah.
It has many postbiotic benefits like cell wall components, etc. So still it may be beneficial, even though the fermented foods like idli and dosa they are cooked and they are not satisfied with the probiotic ability, but they have the postbiotic benefits. So
I think so. It is when we cook it, and when it dies, we eat it in its inactivated form, and oh, the microorganism in our guts determine its value. If it's invading our body, it will act as a resistance, and if it's not, it will accept it. Maybe that's it.
Thank you, Mayur.
So basically, the conclusion is this that after heating, probiotic abilities are just killed.
I am Professor Haresh.
Mhm.
Uh, I agree that there will be killing of organisms, but it will not kill all the organisms. So, because the temperature that rises is up to 80, 90 degrees or so, at the most 100 degrees for a few minutes. So, it is going to decrease the microbial load, but it is not going to kill all the organisms. So, there would be some benefit because of the organisms that are still live there. And yeah, obviously, the postbiotic effect is going to be the predominant one. The metabolites released and other vitamins and other growth factors that would be present will certainly contribute. However, it is a good question. This question I know has been there in everybody's mind. One should try to validate uh, how this becomes so beneficial. Yeah.
Thank you, Aris.
Dr. Pipran sir,
Yes, sir.
today Dr. Yugal has joined
Yes, sir.
and Dr. Purushottam. So Yugal can make some comments. I don't know whether already he has discussed or not.
Yes, Dr. Jugal sir just joined, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
good
sir.
evening.
Actually, sir, I have not able to hear what the discussion has already been made, and I actually little bit late to join.
But you are also working on traditional fermented food. Okay. Hello. Hello, Dr. Yugal.
Actually, regarding traditional fermented food, part of your Northeast, which is so thing is that so it should be healthy and it should not make any disease. This is our concept. And as far the fermentation is concerned, always we are talking about probiotics, which will enhance the environment of guts and enrich with the gut microbiome as a beneficial microorganisms present inside our body. But here, one thing I am observing, not it's the period of only 3 or 4 years, since a long time, though they are consuming fermented food on daily basis, but still they are suffering from different types of disease. Gastrointestinal disease, you can say cancer is very dominantly here in Northeast region. So thing is that what I consider or what I just may not be I'm completely right in science perspective, but still as my observation, what I feel, though we are promoting traditional fermented food, but now time and as per the environment conditions, you can say climate change and many your increase of environmental toxic or like this, somewhat what way they are preparing now or what concern or what way they have mixed up with all their ingredients, maybe some sorts of problems means dominance of any pathogenic microorganisms or you can say any other sorts of invade of other microorganisms or you
Yes,
can
Dr. Yugal,
yeah.
what you are telling, are there any reference? What you are telling, is there any reference?
Yes. Actually, my reference means it is my survey only. I have not read any sorts of scientific literature, but because why I'm telling, I am teaching most of the tribal students from Northeast side, right? And all of them are regularly they are consuming traditional foods, traditional fermented foods. And I can say maximum students always they come and tell me that my father or my cousin or somewhere else they are facing such type of health issues, and from that only I could observe that whether these traditional fermented foods are really now beneficial for health or any negative impact. So from that, they also I have planned to start some sorts of study of what the negativity of the traditional fermented food. Yes, positive aspects is there, no problem. And yes, I am also agree with the positive aspects. But is there any issue with these foods? Any type of health issues and all? It is now time of concern to study also.
Correct. So you can proceed for the research.
Yes. Already I have made a plan, everything regarding this because yes, talking about positivity is a good thing and we promote. But in a practical case, I am observing the another negative impacts also.
Okay, okay. Maybe
Yeah.
true, may not be
Yeah.
true.
Yes. It may not be, but because every day I am observing many students, or you can say that many staffs and all from this side.
Yes.
Then definitely one item or in their dish must be from fermented one.
Okay. Now over to Bipran, sir, please.
Thank you, sir. So just I add to Dr. Jugal Kishore that also in our Darjeeling district means
Dr. Yugal, not Jugal.
Dr. Jugal. Sir.
Yugal, Y-U.
Yes, because in our West Bengal, sir, there is no year, sir. That's how I am pronouncing. So, Dr. Yugal, that in our Darjeeling district also most of the people are using the fermented food, but at the same time, now the number of cancer cases are increasing day by day. So it may be possibility that your survey may be right, means your finding may be right. So, dear participants, now with us, Dr. Professor Prakash Halami sir is here.
Good evening, everyone.
Here from the
Yes.
I missed initial part because my net was
Good evening, Professor Prakash Salami, sir. Good evening.
Dr. Prakash, sir, please introduce yourself because the mob is new.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Audience is new.
Yeah, so I am Dr. Prakash Halami, head of the Department of Microbiology and Fermentation Technology at CSIR CFTRI Mysore. I am here from last 31 years in CFTRI. And last 2 months I was actually in USA and I attended several roundtable discussions and contributed in the field whatever it was possible. In fact, on fermented food, I delivered one lecture at Cleveland Clinic a previous month. And just 10 days back, actually, I delivered one lecture on gut microbiota and prebiotics at University of South Florida in Tampa. Before I start to talk about this fermented food, I would say that this is the microbiology and food technology. This is the area which actually combines both the angles, and MBSI is taken forward how the fermented food can be actually commercialized, their safety can be looked, their health benefits, and how this can actually goes. Now you see the fermented food, especially the fermented dairy product, are the beginning of understanding the microorganism and their health benefits. This is how the Ilya Metchnikoff has observed, then postulated the theory of longevity of life, right? And then as far as now because of this urbanization or the industrialization, consumption of fermented food is depleting. What we supposed to consume actually daily 200 grams. We have in an average up to 50 or 100 gram only. So we are actually being malnourished of the consuming the fermented food. As far as the traditional fermented food is concerned, as I believe Dr. Tiwari has already pointed out, in a different region based on the substrate available, like whether rice or wheat or the vegetables or the bamboo shoots or the soya bean, fermented foods are classified according to the substrate or the type of microorganisms or the end product, like the acidic fermented food or alkaline fermented food or the acetic acid fermented food, like this way. So what I actually observed through the fermented food research is the diversity of a microorganism which we get upon consumption, which you will not find with the artificially fermented product. Just like suppose you take a yogurt, you will be consuming only two type of bacteria. But when you take a curd, you will be actually consuming a whole set of different microflora, which is actually much more useful for maintaining a good diversity in our GI tract, right? Though it has its own advantages and disadvantages with reference to the fermentation, but with pertaining to having a good diversity of a microflora, the naturally fermented or traditionally fermented products are always useful. Of course, there are one other concern which I may tell at the end if it is required. Otherwise, fermented food, as I told, a palatable, then a shelf having a extended shelf life, then the good with the nutritional status, the aroma, the flavor, and many other advantages. And this is fermentation is basically is the only method of a preservation in ancient time, right? Whether it is a cereal legume based or the vegetable based or alcoholic based or the dairy based, fermentation was the only one method for several other such. I'm actually happy to in community of the research work on any traditional fermented product and then see the microflora, see the health benefits, see how the different metabolites are produced. Now actually people are looking the different metabolites produced in the fermented products, right? Because it will be basically converting the similar different substrate into the value added product, right? So from that angle, definitely consuming the fermented product and looking their clinical trial actually. Now there is one institute which is actually exclusively looking for the clinical trial of a fermented product. How much we should consume? What is the health benefit they offer? What type of microorganisms or metabolite they are producing? So all these things are actually very prime importance. And at this juncture, I just wanted to tell that Professor J.P. Tamang, who was actually pioneer in the studying the several traditional fermented product, especially from the Himalayan region, the soybean fermented product, passed away a few months back, and MBSI also, we actually offer condolences, So when we talk about the fermented food of India, it is actually Professor J.P. Tamang, whose name actually comes in a forefront. So I will not extend much. I will be happy actually to answer whatever is possible from my side to answer, whether it is the idli batter fermentation or the dosa batter or the Hawaii jar fermentation or the if you see the fermented vegetables like you have the kimchi is there or the gundruk is there or the or the kinema is there or any fermented bamboo shoots is specifically a very nutritious product and having the less anti-nutritional factors because once it gets fermented, one of the important aspect is that we get reduced anti-nutritional factors, right? Reduction in the phytic acid content, and then more important is the bioavailability of the nutrients, which otherwise you will not see in the raw product, So this is how actually several different advantages you get upon the fermentation of any raw material. Okay. So what is the actually inoculum or the starter culture you use? That is more important. The size of the inoculum, how long you ferment. And when of course, when we do by the natural fermentation, getting consistency is the question mark to some extent, consistency and then the shelf life of the product as well as definite health benefit is another question mark to some extent. Okay. And that's why now people are actually looking for using the defined starter culture, right? So the traditionally fermented food or traditional fermentation is the basis for all our activities, for all our sauerkraut or the kimchi or the yogurt. How these are developed? Because the initial traditional fermentation has been observed. Then the starter culture has been developed, and based on that starter culture, now several such industries they have used this technology, and such fermented products are available commercially, right? So from that angle, definitely the kimchi is there, or the sauerkraut is there, or yogurt, which we actually consume, All these are actually comes from the traditional fermentations, where the large amount of the research has been carried out, and the parameters has been and then product is being developed, and then these are actually marketed, and this is how actually the Western world has been benefited. You go to Japan, you will get the fermented product, right? Or you go to Europe, you will get the sauerkraut fermented, lactic fermented product. Or in Korea, you will get the kimchi, fermented kimchi product. So Of course, in Europe, you will see even the sausages. What we get the sausages, these are also the fermented meat product, right? We have some fermented fish product, especially if you see in the Tripura or some of the part of Northeast state. So I will stop here. I will be actually happy to answer if any question is there pertaining to what I am trying to do or what I am aware about. Is it okay, Tiwari ji?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
There was one question from the, means not question, from the query from the Dr. Rupa Niroli.
Okay.
So I was asking that during the preparation of idli and dosa, we use the temperature, very high temperature, 80 to 100 degree. So there are chances that most of the microbes will be killed at that temperature. So there will be any probiotic effect of idli and dosa after the preparation or not? Hello.
You mean
Your voice is cracking, sir.
you mean the product or comes up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
Yeah, what I was trying to tell was, I hope that steaming or heating is the finished product, means like the no, yeah, while before consumption,
Yes.
right? But if it is the raw material also, they usually actually do the steaming and ensure that the indigenous microflora is eliminated. So in such cases, we have to add the starter culture. But as we are actually steaming, cooking, idli, we are actually steaming and then we get the idli batter, right? So in such cases, you will be killing the microflora. But what happens in this case is that the heat killed cells also actually has a health benefits as a postbiotic, right? And this is another area of research now, that most of these grass status microorganisms are the probiotics organisms. Even their dead cells, their metabolites, the cell wall component, the extracellular components, even that actually can contribute or confirm several health benefits. Okay. So idli is there, dosa is there. This actually are a very good source of a postbiotic,
Yes.
beside their nutritional status. Yes.
The participants, if you have any question, you may ask now here, because one is Dr. Prakash.
I have a question to Prakash, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm Dr. Haresh. Actually, my question is that will it lead to killing of all organisms, because the microbial load upon fermentation of the batter is going to be very high.
Exactly.
So when we cook, will it lead to killing of all organisms? That is my
No,
question.
see, that steaming is only for enhancing the taste and making palatable, right?
Yeah.
Most of the microflora will be killed.
But still there
Now,
will be some
in this
organisms
actually
which will be
idli
live,
batter, what
right?
happened? Yes, yes. Now, actually, idli batter, to understand, it is a mixed fermentation.
Yes.
Participation of bacillus also,
Yeah.
yeast Saccharomyces, and then lactic. So, lactics and maybe yeast is getting killed, but not the bacillus spores, right? Or some thermotolerant lactics also can be there, right? So that is not the question, because here it is, you actually steam sterilize, something like that way. So most of this microflora are being inactivated. Now you will see several of this dairy product, which are actually they will be why? Because the manufacturer take a risk transport during product is in shell heat, right?
Yeah.
Curd is, we don't boil or do cook. Whatever it is fermented, we eat. Yes, but in market, you will see some.
I think there is some disturbance in the voice. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, net is a little bit weak.
Okay.
Thank you.
There is one more question from the Dr. Purushottam Petare. Sir, can you explain the concept of prebiotic, probiotic,
Okay.
and symbiotic?
Prebiotic, probiotics, and next one is postbiotic or what? Symbiotic.
Symbiotic, sir.
Hello? Symbiotic, okay. So
Okay.
probiotics, now everyone knows three terms are important. Once we say probiotics means the living organisms with a sufficient number. And then third one is the health benefits, which confirm the definite health benefits. These three things comes, it is a probiotics. Now prebiotics actually undigestible carbohydrate, which is selectively utilized by a probiotic organism, is a prebiotics. So these prebiotics will not be utilized by a pathogenic organism, but by a probiotic organisms, right? Fructooligosaccharides is there, or maltooligosaccharides is there. These are actually utilized by the probiotic organism for their growth, for their nourishment. Okay. So this is what the prebiotics is. So prebiotic is nothing but the non-digestible carbohydrate. Symbiotic is the prebiotics and then probiotics. So we have such several formulations. If you see some of these probiotics, mixed, I think I should have even here also. Okay. You see, this is actually the commercially available Syraflora capsules. And capsule probiotic microorganisms are there, and then some prebiotic polysaccharide is also there in this. Okay. So I am unable to read the detail, but when I was actually seeing the ingredient, so this is actually become the symbiotic, right? Though this is being sold as a probiotics, but this is basically a symbiotic. So you see this capsule. So you can consider that since it has a probiotics as well as the prebiotics, so this becomes the symbiotics. Okay. And since this has a health beneficial property or the health benefits, so I will actually can consume in front of you people only. Yes. So I have to basically promote such a symbiotic formulations. So why actually symbiotic is needed? Because when we consume the probiotics, not necessarily that they will grow or they will proliferate. Okay. So symbiotic or this prebiotic material is the one which actually promotes the growth of a probiotic organism. Just I was talking with reference to the prebiotics and probiotics. Just wanted to tell that most of the actually probiotics fails to go in a GI tract and get colonized in a sufficient number. Why? Because of the harsh condition in the GI tract or non-availability of the food for them. So what is the food for the probiotic organisms? Probiotics, the inulin, the glucooligosaccharide consumed, then your probiotics will be proliferating and better health benefits. I hope it is quite clear. And that's why now actually the millet fraction, which is a high amount of the dietary fiber, is being used as on developing a millet product where probiotics are incorporated. Yes. Few more questions are there, I think, in chat box.
Yes, sir. One observation was from the Dr. Yugal K. Mohanta. Are you here, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Now I think that you can discuss that your
Yeah, yeah,
observation.
yeah. Professor Prakash Salami, sir, good evening. Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Actually, I am fortunate to see
Good
you
evening.
here. Actually,
I can hear you.
Already we have communicated each other through email. One
Thank
of your
you.
postdoc, Binod Kumar, and you submitted one chapter in my edited book, Nutrigenomics and
Oh,
Nanomedicine.
yes.
I am Dr.
Yes.
Jugal Kishore, same person. So
Wonderful.
actually, I am now working in the Northeast area at the University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. And you know, already you have narrated about
Okay.
late Professor J.P. Tamang sir, who has worked means in depth on fermented foods, traditional fermented foods used in north and northeast side.
Yes.
So here regularly people are consuming
Yes, sir.
traditional fermented food, almost different from different subject as you have discussed, and even non-veg means fish fermented or meat fermentation. Those also they are regularly consuming. As per my
Exactly.
observation, but still those fermented foods are not healthy. Maybe it is the cause that those common men or layman people are store those after fermentation store in normal temperature, because now northeast is not northeast temperature, means I can say now we are feeling too much humidity here, more than 40-degree temperature nowadays we are observing here, and we are these all sorts of increasing temperature. So in what way they are preserving or storing their fermented foods? May this change in temperature or change in climate, some sorts of anti-nutritional metabolites are synthesized within that product and they are consuming, and those are the cause of any sorts of health issues. Hello.
Yeah, looks quite convincing a comment. What I would say is that the sufficient research is lacking.
Yes. Actually,
With
I am also
reference to the
thinking that too. Yeah.
yes, definitely. See, sauerkraut is developed. It should be the long way to do the research and develop the consistent product, right?
Yes.
Or kimchi, or the sausages. You don't see that people ate the sausage and fall ill, or sauerkraut they ate and then they are fallen. Or the alcoholic beverages, of course not Indian alcoholic beverages, but then scotch or any wine or this thing that people are consuming and then they got ill. We don't see that report. Or the people in Japan that they are eating the you know this um, NATO, and then they have fallen ill. I don't think such reports are there.
No.
The
I,
problem.
I'm not telling about the any scientific reports, but what I'm observing in regular basis here, as per the some students, their family members, their parents, and all. Those are
Yes.
really, but I should not expect that, oh, they are taking very healthy fermented foods or something. They should not come across with any gastrointestinal disease and all. But maximum people they are facing those health issues. Maybe that's why I'm telling them, maybe this change of climate or change of any temperature, what
Yes.
where they are, because they are not storing inside refrigerator all of them.
Exactly. Then the
Yeah, they are
micro.
keeping them in
Then
a very normal
then
temperature. Maybe
yes.
some sorts of reaction,
Yeah, because
anti-nutritional
what
metabolites
happens,
are seen.
yes, during natural fermentation, different microflora also will arise.
Yes, exactly.
When we are making a curd at home, you don't get a consistent product like what you get from the dairy. The very
Yes.
simple reason, because dairy they knows what temperature they
Yeah,
have
they
to
got
heat,
complete control
how much
condition. Yeah,
inoculum they have to add. Huh? Just
they
to
are
give you
following
example.
complete control. Yeah,
Yeah,
control
exactly.
condition. That's why. Yeah.
Yes. No.
But
So
normal people are not following any parameters.
Our
Thank you,
natural
Jewel sir.
fermentation or which we made at home, it is more like Bhagwan Bharosi.
Yes,
Right? So getting a consistent product, getting a uniform quality, will be the question mark when we are actually fully depend on the natural fermentation. That is what I
Exactly.
can
Yes.
tell. And then there are actually few cases. Sometimes, this pathogenic or spoilage microorganisms, their population also can actually increase more if the temperature fluctuation is there. When
Yes,
you
sir.
are doing in the dairy, if you just see, you are maintaining the temperature.
Yes, sir.
When you are processing the raw material, you are ensuring that the quality of milk is proper.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
In house, we don't pay attention for all these things. Right. So maybe
So
somewhere
there,
that kind of things happens. Once it is a commercialized, once the process is a standardized, then all questions will be answered and then product can be made in the larger quantity and then you get a real business in that. And that is what the microbiology society has to do. Tiwari is the action to make us all aware, and then how the microbial products actually can be commercialized in soon in the future, right?
Thank you, Jugal sir, for your comment. So now, sir, there are two more questions. That first question: the probiotics really inhibit the enteric pathogen? Because there have been reports published which give the results otherwise.
Exactly, because it has to have the adherence ability. Probiotic has to compete with the pathogenic organism with reference to adhering to the intestinal epithelial wall. So if they do not, because most of these pathogenic bacteria also has the mucin binding abilities. We have such experiments. So if they do not display them, if they do not compete, then pathogen will no will have the advantage. That is what actually it means. So it has to have the adherence ability. It has to survive in the gastrointestinal tract, and it has to have to some extent antimicrobial activity. Plus, it has to acidified. In such acidic condition, pathogenic microorganisms will not be surviving. So this is what actually the probiotics how it actually acts with the 2-3 different mechanisms in a GI tract.
And one more, yes, sir.
Quite clear. You take any lactic acid bacteria, they will do. They will at least pH of the gastrointestinal tract. They will compete with the pathogenic bacteria, right? This is like cross status microorganisms. These are otherwise also we are consuming have the advantage for our health and wellness, maintaining the healthy gut, in other words.
Sir, one more question is there, sir. How can we ensure the safety and quality of fermented food, especially those produced by the traditional methods?
To produce in a larger scale, as you have not standard fermentation temperature, inoculum size, the water quality of raw material. When you are not maintaining a temperature, suppose, so any other pathogenic or spore forming bacteria may grow, right? Or if you are not taken the good quality of the raw material, so you are not sure what will happen, or you are not processed the initial raw material, so you never knows. And this is actually happens especially in the fish product, because they are very perishable, or they will have a large number of the pathogenic and spoilage microorganism initially only. But then definitely when they are making the sausages, they must be all these meat product, I did not see much commercially available, except what we get in the northeast. Few percent to die. On the other hand, as far as their health benefit is concerned, very good for the gastrointestinal ailment. Which one? The fermented fish product. But getting the uniform consistency of a finished product, especially in the meat or the fish, is a big challenge. Okay, because the raw material which we are using, then the microflora which is required the fermentation is not standardized, is not optimized. Just not like a yogurt, not your fermented vegetables, right? So that is actually the challenge. I hope it is quite clear.
Yes, sir, definitely.
So I have one more question.
Yes, yes, Anuj.
May I ask?
Sure, sure.
Sir, I wanted to know, rather, I wanted to understand whether the backslopping method, which is commonly used for traditional fermented foods, will that result
Yes.
into the establishment of a more robust culture in comparison to a starter culture which would be developed in a lab?
Exactly. See, backsloping for a smaller scale household level, it is fine. When you don't have to commercialize the product, when you are not producing in a large scale, when you are not much worried about the quality of the finished product, just like what we make a curd at home, right? But any dairy industry, you ask them, you do the backsloping, definitely they will say no. What they do, they get the freeze dried culture from the Crown Hansens and just add 1% or 2%. They give the royalty to them 0.5%. But some microbiology person can say you just inoculate culture only and then make. That will, you will not get a quarter culture. Because fermentation, right, it is actually helps or rapid acid fermentation. Stop. Not getting the finished product of high consumption. Business.
I think Sir got disconnected.
Yeah, he joined now.
Yeah, so I was trying to tell about the backsloping, its advantages and disadvantages. And I hope by giving the example with and getting the curd in the from the dairy industry or from the dairy.
Sir, one more question from the Sanej.
Tiwari, can you hear
Sanjana.
me?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay.
So one more question from the Sanjana Joseph. Sir, I recently started my PhD in probiotics from fermented foods. Can you give some insights on media used for the isolation process? Is it necessary to use MRS media or can we go with normal nutrient agar?
Or
Also,
what are which organism?
anaerobic incubation necessary for the same.
Yeah, which bacteria they want to identify?
Sanjana Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Unmute
Like
it.
not specifically lactic acid, sir. Like anything in general.
Sanjana
Like,
organism I want to isolate. No, but in microbiology we have something like a specific media, no? You know, or the general purpose media, right? Or the what we have, you know, the specific nutritional requirement for a particular organisms, right? So in such cases, if you are looking for a lactic acid bacteria, it is a MRS. You know, bifidobacteria, MRS with cysteine hydrochloride. You know, or you look for the staphylococcus. You know, you have the specific mistake. Oxford broth, right? So like this way, some specific and inhibit the other microflora. You know, and then this is actually one of this first practical in the microbiology selection of a right media or the correct media as a cultivation media or the maintenance media or the selective media, right? Or the production media, you know. So this is how actually this media purpose goes. But once you are suppose a isolated culture, you know, even lactic acid bacteria can also grow in the nutrient broth or nutrient agar, but growth will be very slow. Okay. This is what the problem actually happens. Things to isolate. Yes. I hope it is quite clear.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Exactly.
The time is double, but sir, one last question is there. What is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most cost-effective and potential cryoprotectant for starter culture without compromising viability after freezing drying?
Yeah, definitely. Now, culture we are looking for, if it is a bifidobacterial, very less viability. Lactobacillus to some extent, but if it is spores, is not the issue. But then the cryoprotection, how the cells actually have been prepared, Otherwise, the cryoprotection is one of this method for the long-term storage, right? But then, if it is not prepared properly, it may lose the viability to 20-30%, and then you will have very less inoculum size, right? And that's why subsequently enriching them, or adding the more inoculum is the thing. You see, actually, yogurt preparation, they add almost 10 inoculum, right? Very high dose of the inoculum, and this is how actually they get the curd within 6 hours. So how they adjust, they actually add more inoculum, ensuring, and in the shorter time, within 6 hours, they get actually the set yogurt, but now, especially most of this dairy industry, they actually has the freeze dried, which is perhaps the using the cryoprotectants. See how the polyethylene glycol or any cryoprotectant helps to, right? So this is also another part of how much actually the viability is maintained or the retained. So this is actually very important nowadays. In the dairy industry or in the pharmaceutical industry or any fermentation industry. Now you go, this is a pressed yeast or the yeast which is actually the biomass is a cryoprotected and then stored and lyophilized, right? And this is how actually the yeast sachet you get, which you have to incorporate it along with the powder which you get for the preparation of this product and all. Yes. I hope it was quite clear.
Yes, sir. And
So
sir,
I have one more question.
yes, Anuja.
Yeah. Recently I read about a method where they make use of green chili caps
Mm-hmm.
for fermenting milk to produce curd. So I was looking for the organisms which are found in these green chili caps, but I couldn't come up with any reports which would, give these organisms. I mean, the identification of these organisms. So anybody in this
Exactly, not
meeting, yeah, if anybody has done any kind of research on this method, it would be beneficial.
exactly. People actually talks using such a no, because several of these vegetables, fruits will have the microflora, lactic microflora associated on their surface, and that actually contributes for the fermentation. But unless and otherwise we does the experiment like with and without, where you get with the more faster curdling, isolate those bacteria, characterize them, see that they comes from the cap of this green leaf, green cap of this chili, you
Green
know.
chili, yeah.
Yes, then you will be able to actually develop such culture, and this is how actually the yogurt culture is developed. Very important observation what you are telling, but then experiments are the scientific evidence is needed. And I was also listening with the lecture by one of this my friend from Italy, and then when they asked how the yogurt culture was developed, because when yogurt was not existed, that time the curdling of milk was using the cherry leaves, and finally they found that they used to add the cherry leaves in the boiled and cooled the milk, and then it used to give you the yogurt after 1 day or 2 days. Afterward, they found out that the cherry leaves has these two bacteria, which one Lactobacillus delbrueckii and Streptococcus thermophilus. And now these cultures, Kron Hansen actually is marketing, right? And this is how Christian Hansen has developed the yogurt using these two synergistic cultures, and then you get the yogurt. So similarly, you have to parallelly do the experiment what the yogurt culture was developed, and then you have to come to the conclusion that yes, even in the chili the microflora present has the ability to ferment the milks and give you a very good consistent finished product of high quality possible. You may have to spend a lot of time, do a lot of experiment and come to the conclusion. And now all this isolating the microorganism, identifying, using them for the fermentations is much more easier than what it was 20 years or 50 years back, right? You can just do such a series of experiment and then you come within, I think, reports or studies within 2 months or 3 months, the initial findings. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Exactly. And I really like that experiments, what they have demonstrated for the yogurt culture, that it was actually the cherry leaves, which was actually a source of Lactobacillus delbrueckii and Streptococcus thermophilus. And these are the two microorganisms which are being used as a starter culture for making a yogurt. Yes.
So thank you so much, sir. Your presence and your research insights have truly enriched this session, and we are very fortunate that today in this discussion we got lots of knowledge and your research experience we have shared with us. Thank you so much, sir, for your
Thank you.
presence.
Thank you. Yes, it's a little bit busy schedule because tomorrow we have the
Yeah, because
national webinar on the gut microbiota. So I invite all the MBSI members to participate and come online on the MS team. Those who have already registered, once they come
yes, sir, we
online, they will
received
be
the
getting.
Zoom link, sir, today.
Exactly,
Webinar
exactly. Yeah.
timing. We will join tomorrow, sir.
Though my schedule was quite busy, but then I thought it is a fermented food, which is actually my 60-70% R&D activities around that aspect. And then of course to extend the invitation for tomorrow's webinar, which is again a part of MBSI activity. This is being organized in collaborating with MBSI for this tomorrow the US and other four faculty from the India itself, who has a very extensive study on the gut microbiota. Yes. And just to tell Tiwari ji that we have 866 registered participants. So I hope our show will be really the super hit. 866 registered participants we have recorded already. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Yeah.
So thank you all the participants for joining today's session, and I look forward to our future exchange of knowledge and ideas. So thanks to all of for joining this session.
So I have a request. If sir could share his email ID, then maybe we will be able to connect with him and have a discussion relating to our research topic.
Sure, I will share with permission of sir. I will share the email ID with you. Just fill out this feedback form so that I can share the
Yes.
email ID with you.
You is in touch with me and we are very good friend. So he can just give my email ID, not issue. Or even in the Google also, you can actually just type Prakash Salami, you will get a lot of information. So we are much more transparent and we are there to see how MBSI actually helps you people to grow also. Of course, we also have to grow scientifically.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
You can also type it meanwhile. CFTRI.
Thank you. Good night to everyone. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.